Alright guys, I wanted to talk about the Steam controller, and if you guys aren't familiar or aren't up to date in Valve/PC news, Valve, the company behind Steam and games like Half-Life and Counter-Strike, are stepping their toes into the physical hardware market. This was announced at the tail end of last year, and they were set to release the Steam Machine, the Steam Frame, and the Steam Controller sometime in 2026. The exact release dates weren't revealed, but Valve stated that it was going to be as early as 2026. This of course changed due to the ongoing RAM crisis, and people speculated that it pushed Valve to stagger the releases and potentially delay the release of the Steam Machine so that Valve could release it at a reasonable price point. Sometime last week, it was confirmed that the first item on the list of the up-and-coming hardware to release was going to be the Steam controller, and sure enough, Valve put a release date of May 4th. This makes sense if you think about it, since the controller is probably the only component in Valve's lineup that isn't really affected by the RAM shortage, with it just being a controller. Fast forward to Monday, May 4th at 10 a.m., which was the scheduled release time for the controller on Steam, and only after 30 minutes, the Steam controller completely sold out, which is honestly impressive that it was available for that long considering the hype and buzz around it. I remember back in 2020, during the dark ages of COVID, when the new generation of consoles were releasing and how fast both the Xbox Series consoles and the PS5 sold out. I mean, it was literally seconds. I had every one of my family members on standby on the retail websites waiting for them to drop in hopes that one of us was lucky enough to beat out the bots on launch day. Every single one of us failed except for miraculously my brother, who was able to place an order on a PS5. We were so determined to play on the launch day without having to pay scalpers $1,000 or whatever they were charging at the time. And sure enough, not long after the Steam controller sold out, scalpers have already started listing them for double the price on eBay. It's just crazy to me that this scalping culture continues to be a problem in the Big 26. And it's not just isolated to the gaming and PC parts, but we've even seen the same thing like with Pokemon cards, where you see 40-year-old men waiting in line at Target to buy up the latest shipment of Pokemon cards. To me, it's just sad and honestly pathetic that this is something we're just gonna have to deal with now and in the future. Luckily, I was fortunate enough to nab one, and even then, I was having a lot of trouble trying to check out. The Steam website kept giving me an error message every time I tried to continue to my payment method, and I wasn't alone on this. When I checked on Twitter after attempting to purchase the controller for 15 minutes with no luck, people were sharing the same error message. Some people were successful on placing their orders and claimed that continuously spamming the continue button would eventually lead to a successful transaction. Sure enough, it worked, but it did take a while. My confirmation page said that it would take 3 to 5 business days to ship, so let's see how true that is. When it does eventually come in, I'll definitely do some sort of unboxing video or an early impressions video, so if you guys want to see that, definitely stay tuned. So what are your guys' thoughts on the whole Steam controller situation, and are you planning on picking up one when they come back in stock? If you did pick up one, how was your experience? I'm definitely curious to see if you guys had issues like I did.